Hey, what's up? It's Tati, and I am back with another video. This time we're talking about the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view results. We did have the pre-show where we had Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage. Ricky Starks ended up winning this match, so he'll be going against Ethan Page on Dynamite for the finals for the AEW Championship Eliminator Tournament. So whoever wins that will go against the champion. Spoiler alert, that's MJF. So moving on, we did also have the Factory versus the Best Friends with a mystery partner. Everyone already knew it was Danhausen because they literally said it, but even at the pre-show they're still like making it seem like we had no idea who it was going to be. It was Danhausen who ended up joining the match like 3/4 of the way of the match, where he came out. And this time he wasn't very nice. He was more very evil. And he actually looked really, really good with this paint that he had on. I was really digging it. He was no curses, no stupid shit like he normally does in the ring. He was much more serious and down to business. And I really liked that side of him. And just when I thought that maybe they're just going to keep going with this, later on the show, he came out backstage with Orange Cassidy. And he was back to his usual paint and looking all goofy and shit. So that didn't last long, but at least the fans got a chance to see him in that light. So we also, on the pre-show, we had one more match, which was with Eddie Kingston versus Jun Akiyama. Eddie Kingston ended up winning this match. It was a very emotional match since Jun was one of those wrestlers that inspired Eddie Kingston to be in the ring. So it was, it was one of those moments where you get to face your hero. And this match was pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if they would end up having a match later on again, somewhere down the line. And as much as people might not get Eddie, he is so relatable. And maybe because I'm a New Yorker and I think so, but he's such a relatable person. I like him. He's pretty cool. And oh yeah, and one of my favorite parts, we had Konosuke Takeshita. He finally got signed with AEW. I've been waiting for him to snag him because there's been rumors about WWE also wanting him as well. He's absolutely amazing in the ring. So I'm so glad they got him. And he was just talking about how he's gonna move to America and all that stuff, and this was his dream to wrestle in America. So I'm so glad they got him on AEW. Now let's move on to the main card. First match of the night was Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus in a steel cage match. I was a little bit surprised that they opened up the show with this, but it was a pretty good match. Was really into it. We even had Jungle Boy, who was paying homage to Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. So with his ring attire and whatnot. And I'm watching the media scrum right now playing in the background, and Jungle Boy's face is so fucked up from this match. He was bleeding, got bruises. Looks like he even got some stitches. This was a good match, and yes, Christian did sort of kind of get involved. He ended up taking the key away from the referee that was outside of the ring and opening the cage door, and that led the fight to happen outside of the ring, well, outside of the cage for a bit. And that was pretty much it. So Christian didn't really get a chance to be physical with Jungle Boy or whatnot, but that did keep them out the cage for quite some time. Jungle Boy ends up winning this match. This match was a pretty good way to open the show. Next match, Death Triangle versus the Elite. And I swore up and down the Elite was going to win this, and they didn't. And I have to say, these two together, whenever they're having a match, they do not disappoint. It was a really great match. The surprising thing about it, well, number one, the Elite did not win, and number two, Ray ended up cheating to win. So that's something that Ray has been fighting off for quite some time. He didn't want to be influenced by Pac to cheat to win the matches or whatnot, and he finally did so, and they retained. Now later on in the show, they did announce that there's a best out of 7 matches between the Elite and Death Triangle. Whoever gets to the 4th win first, and then the tournament ends. So I'm just saying this right now, this is designed for the Elite to win. What's the fucking point of this? This doesn't make any sense at all. So it's just so stupid. It really is so stupid. But anyway, Death Triangle ends up getting this match, this win. If you want to watch any of these matches, I do recommend watching this one. this one was very, very good. Next was Jade versus Nyla Rose. I'll just keep it like this. This is probably the worst match of the night. Absolutely. I was trying to defend them in my prediction video where I was like, the storyline didn't mind it, but the crowd isn't behind it. And they really weren't. Like, this is the time to go get your little snacks, go to the bathroom, make your phone calls, whatever. It really was not a great match. And to be completely honest with you, it was a little bit of a waste of time on my end. Jade ends up winning this, and now she's 41-0. Next match we had for the ROH title, which was with Chris Jericho, Bryan, Claudio, and Sammy. And I have to say, I didn't have high hopes about this. I really wanted Bryan to win, but this match was very, very good. And towards like the half of the match onward, it became really, really intense because you really felt like it could literally be any one of these guys to win it. And I really enjoyed this match. It's another match that I would recommend, like if you just want to watch bits and pieces of the pay-per-view, watch this one. This was really great. Chris Jericho ends up winning this. To be completely honest, like I said, I wanted Bryan to win, but the ROH Final Battle pay-per-view is coming up in a few weeks, so he may drop the title there. Definitely, if you want to check out any matches, as far as any good matches go, this is another one I would definitely recommend. Next match was Saraya versus Britt Baker. Honestly, I wasn't expecting no 5-star match. This was pretty good for what it was, for her not being able to wrestle for the past 5 years. It wasn't bad. Not the best we've ever seen her, but it's going to take some time. So yeah, there was some ring rust there for sure, but it was a great way for her to make her come back to professional wrestling. She even had her family there in the audience watching, and they were able to celebrate with her after. I don't really have much to say about this other than I do think this was a great comeback for her. But if she really wants to make an impact into the women's division, she's definitely going to have to be training a lot more. Yeah, so yeah, she ended up winning that match. Next match was Samoa Joe versus Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs. To be honest with you, I wasn't really hooked onto the match, but I was absolutely pleasantly surprised that Samoa Joe won this match, and now he is the TNT champion, and I was not expecting that at all. I thought Wardlow would retain. I didn't really see Powerhouse Hobbs winning this at all. And at the end of the match, you know, here we have Samoa Joe holding 2 titles, and Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs are in the ring just looking stunned, like, whoa. To be honest, this was the biggest surprise for me as far as something happening that's not predictable. So this was a pleasant surprise, and I think it's a right step in the right direction because of the ROH pay-per-view that's coming up. So this will definitely open the doors for someone like Powerhouse Hobbs or Wardlow to try to get that title from him. So, you know, the possibilities are endless now that he has 2 titles going into this next pay-per-view. So I'm very interested to see where that goes. So the next match was with Sting, Darby Allin versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. I'm just going to put it like this. It was all over the place. I love Darby. He's just like, oh my gosh, I love him. But I don't know where they were going with this. At times, it's like, okay, so this is a tag team match. They were basically all over the arena, which we've seen from them before. But then it was like, is this no disqualification? Or like, what's going on here? How is it that you have Satnam Singh and Sanjay just getting involved? And it just seemed like a whole bunch of weird things going on that just didn't really make sense. They did end up taking the match back into the ring, and from there we did have not so many good moments with Sting as far as you know, a few botches. This match, it could have been so much better. I don't know where they were going with this, but I don't really recommend it. But there was this one spot in the match. You already know Darby. He have to do some out of this world shit where he did a coffin drop. He was supposed to do it on Jay Lethal. Jay moved out the way and Jeff Jarrett was holding the guitar, so he ended up doing a coffin drop onto a guitar. That was a really, really nice spot, so I did enjoy that moment. But the match itself, didn't like it. Sting and Darby ends up taking the win, and they did botch that finisher. Next match was Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm for the interim women's title, and I'm so happy to say that Jamie won this match. I was just getting bored with Toni, you know, just move on. And I've been liking Jamie for quite some time, so I do think she deserved it. Yes, in order for her to win, Rebel helped, Britt helped, and whatnot, but I still feel like long-term storytelling wise, she definitely earned being champion right now. Toni did discuss something about Thunder Rosa and her having the title and what they're going to do with that. Kind of like on the fence on, I don't know if he meant like he was going to strip her from the title if she doesn't come back, or what the situation is, because there has been rumors that she isn't really hurt and that there is more of a like emotional issues going on as far as, I don't know, booking or whatever, however she feels about her time in AEW. So don't really know what's going on with that. But the whole interim thing, I feel like Toni came up with doing that to be fair if someone were to be injured or whatnot, because, you know, they're injured and they're not going to be able to have a chance to wrestle. So rather than vacating the title, they can still hold it while someone else gets to play that role of that champion. I think at this point they need to stop doing that. Thunder Rosa, I don't know what's going on with her, but just have Jamie have the title. When Thunder Rosa get back and she's all good and everything, she can go against whoever is holding the title at that time. So Jamie ends up winning this match. Yeah, she cheated. Who cares? Heels have so much more fun. I can't wait to see where this is going for Jamie. So congrats to Jamie. Moving on, we have Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaim. Another great match with these two tag teams. We did see here that Keith had enough of Swerve's bullshit and decided to leave him in the ring, and it basically was a handicap match for the later part of the match. To be honest with you, they're probably not going to be teaming anymore, but I do think they make a really good team. Without them having all those issues, they still did a really great job together. And you guys, The Acclaim is over as hell, and I'm so happy for their success, and I can't wait to see where they're going with this moving forward. Alright, on to the main event, Jon Moxley versus MJF. Now, I said it that MJF would win. I think that was really predictable, you know, that he would win. However, what I didn't want to happen was William Regal getting involved with him winning. So there was a point of the match. So first of all, the match, I did enjoy it. We got to see classic Moxley. We got to see the fans really rallying up with not Moxley, with MJF. So it was like definitely Mox was the heel, I guess you can say, or just that lately people been behind MJF, so he was well received by the fans. Now we got to a point where he pulled out the dynamite ring from his trunks, and he was going to obviously punch Moxley with it. And William Regal was like, no, don't do it, blah 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 blah. So he ends up throwing the ring outside of the ring, and then twice two different referees gently got pushed, and they made it seem like they were on their deathbeds. So obviously there's no ref to attend to anything. So at one point Moxley did have MJF tapping, so he would have won, but these referees are playing possum, so no one to ring the bell. So then out of the blue, I think Moxley was going to give the ring back or whatever it was. And then you see William Regal come up towards the ring. And then out of the blue, he goes through his pocket and gives him the brass knuckles. And at that point, I was like, no, no, no. Way too soon. I really do think it's too soon. I feel like they haven't done anything with BCC for them to have already have William Regal move on to MJF. they could have really saved that for another time. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know where they're going with it. I do see it being something pleasantly surprising. Yes, I just feel like maybe the timing was not right as far as Regal turning his back on Blackpool Combat Club. But nonetheless, I've been a little bit bored with the predictability, so now we have something very different to look forward to, and to see William Regal, who always have these really cool ideas, and he's definitely here in AEW to help the younger talents, you know, make some moves for us to see something different in this business. So I'm happy about it, but not so happy about it. Overall, the pay-per-view was pretty good. Like I said, there was a match or two that wasn't even all that, but for the most part, everyone together put a really great show. I can't wait to see what's going to happen moving forward, minus the whole best out of 7 bullshit with the Elite, who's going to end up getting the trios. Give it to House of Black. That's what I want to see. That's who I want to see have that trios title. I can care less about the Elite, but it was really great to see Kenny Omega tonight. He is so awesome in the ring. I love him. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching my video, and see you guys next time.